And listening to Ron Watt.
Times where we started to surge back at them, it was when we were long, quick, direct. We played on as quick as we could, and we actually went to our man and stopped them getting easy kicks. When they got a bit of a run on, you know what it was? It was us just watching them get the ball. That's the only difference. All I'm asking you to do for the next 30 minutes is just crack in as hard as you can. Right? Make sure we hold our structures. Just because you don't worry about the scoreboard, that'll take care of itself. If we hold our structures, if we have someone who's going to kick it to a full forward, matey, we're going to have you down there, mate. Right, because you've been marking well. We need you within 15 metres of goal every time. 15 metres of goal every time. We don't want you right up here. We want the ball kicked down to you. Little blokes get in underneath you and get the crumb. Fellas, don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't put any pressure on you. Stick to the tasks that we set out every week. Stick to our team rules. Play with some real passion. And I tell you what, you just got to make sure that we really care for each other at every contest you go at. Every contest, we're only 2 kicks out of it. Right? If we work ourselves back in it, don't worry if they get 1 or 2. We just keep working. Come on. That's all we want you to do. Just come on every contest and have a real go at it.
Well, that's interesting. Forget about the scoreboard. Our patterns will look after the scoreboard, because that's what can give them the shakes, Phil. Because they know they've gone in as hot favourites and they're behind, and that can put them off their game.
They didn't seem, gee, they weren't as fired up. And it's funny that he went with that kind of qualification about the scoreboard, like as if, don't worry if they get a goal or two. You know, there was nothing about firing up and really overpowering them and sort of throwing away the cob and saying, right, we're going for broke now, we're not going to mess around. You haven't quite found the form that you can produce.
Here's one of the goals of the season.
This is just unbelievable. And the work before it, where he held McGrath off the ball, and he's got McGrath out of the contest and put it over his head. Honestly, that is just, have we ever seen anything? I'm just wondering. We've seen some good ones over the journey, but I tell you what, I don't know if we've seen much that's better than that.
It was worth seeing 3 times.
Well, it just... And he played such a great half. He's off now, tired. He's back on the ground now as we look in the highlights, but having a peep out the window and can see him back in the middle. Anstey got caught a few times. I'll tell you what, they've been good, the Borough. And you know what, too, Drew? Stevens was quiet in the 3rd quarter, which isn't a bad sign, because what if he fires up? If he fires up in the last quarter, they'll win the game. And you see it, the possessions, Port Melbourne have really powered back into the game. There's not much in those possessions, inside 50. She's all pretty even. We're in for a big last quarter. Roscoe, Ronnie Watt, I don't know whether I really felt like they were about to charge home and win. What about Dave Dunbar? I suppose he'd be reasonably happy.
Oh, no, not at the very start. He gave a big spray to Nick Gill. I think he was the opponent of Charlie Gardner, and bloke down there and took a mark. And he said, what did I say to you on the phone? You know, stick to your man and tell him you really got a spray. I really just think it was a sort of setting example. The players are really fired him up. Peter Philander very tired, and Rick Mott, yes, another knock on that leg of Corky. So I'm not sure if he'll come back, but David Dunbar wants pressure running from behind him to bring the ball out the commentary box side as they go to the left of screen as they're attacking, because even though there's not much breeze, he says hard as it goes from that right-hand forward pocket.
Yes, so a 12-point lead to Port Melbourne going into the last quarter. And Peter Philander, after a 13-possession second quarter, had just 4 in the 3rd. But he is back on now at the start of the last quarter. And you are going nowhere, McInerney. So umpire Ray Chamberlain getting the ball back, and we have a bounce near the centre circle.
Oh, that was better. That's good.
What a last quarter we look set for. Chambers wins the hit out. Slight fumble here by Merriman. Does well. Good shepherd, Chambers. Merriman, does he clear them? Yes, he does. It bounces on. Well done, Brockman. To keep it alive. He might regret it here in a minute, though. Oh, it's just over the line. He nearly brought that back, straight back to the Cats in front of goal.
Good call by the umpire. I think it was Sean Ryan. There was no free kick there to O'Brien. You've got to get the football, my son. Get hold of it. Use your body. Don't just stay.
Oh, Minch has an airy. And here's a snap to goal. And it is a goal to Gary Ablett.
touch of brilliance there, and if had it been Philandia's head that mentioned kick, we probably would have forgiven him, because we might have said he thought it was a football. But then the young bloke bobbed up. Have a look at him, Ablett. There's Mensch going for the fresh air shot, as they used to say, and Ablett is class. He's just can do something. Look at the excitement he shows too when he kicks the goal. Danger.
Interesting, that's just his third kick for the day, Gary Ablett.
Handball,
He's had
15.
3 kicks and 10 hand passes, whereas his cousin on the other side has gone the other way. He's had 11 kicks and 3 hand passes. Chambers wins, comes down to Kilpatrick. A diving mark is completed by Merriman, who's been okay. He's played every game this year. The kick by Andrew Merriman, deep inside attack. It nearly gets to the back. It is high, and it's a port free kick to be taken by McInerney.
So David Dunbar let rip Ross. He likes to give it a bit of a whirl.
He did.
Yeah, few choice old Borough words.
Yes, no cameras there.
That's what we like to hear, don't we?
Oh, it's a great bloke, though.
Real men being real men in the huddle. It's the only place you can be a real man, isn't it?
One straight kick, the difference. And the mark taken close to the boundary line by Brockman, who was a former Geelong player himself, played a couple of league games for the Cats. Fumbled by Kilpatrick. It gets to the back to little Philandia. He pokes a pass up. Buchanan on the run.
He's a good
He can't
kick.
reach one. Off the left. Eamon Buchanan. What a goal.
And he's on his own left foot too, Drew. You can see what he was going to do once he skipped around. He was always going to put that one right over the top of umpire Andrew Clifton's head down there to the left of screen. Beautiful play, and the little bloke Philandia sets it up for him. Look at him skip around here. He catches Ablett napping almost, and that is a beautiful goal. Just what the doctor ordered. The scones had just gone, Ross. You got a couple. That cake was absolutely beautiful. They haven't lost their touch over there in the Borough canteen, have they?
In spite of it being corporatised, no. Chambers beats Rex.
You weren't supposed to say that, Ross. It wasn't in the script.
Some of the possessions to three-quarter time, and I know we're a few minutes in, nearly 4 minutes into the final. Bartell's had 25 possessions. McGrath has had 20. Mensch 17 with 5 marks. McCarthy, incidentally, 7 marks. And Bartell, 11 marks.
Both ruckmen almost missed it. Chambers got more of it. Followed it up. Ryan McMahon used strength for Landia. Perhaps I'll get 10 or 15 minutes out of him. Oh, Ablett shot. Bennett, he grabs it. He races on. Inspirational. Looking for Merriman. But Rose was equal to the task. Now there's a contest with that tackle high. Someone thinks it was. Merriman goes to ground. Blackney goes to ground. Ooh.
Catch ball.
It is a high tackle, I think, on Blackney.
Yes. Oh,
Culture.
Bennett getting caught like that, Ross. Gee, that hurts, doesn't it? Jared Bennett, he's been so good, and you'd think he'd know that he couldn't, and no one talking him up. You've got to scream at the bloke and let him know when someone's bearing down. Critical moments.
Geelong trail by 2 goals. Tyson Blackney. Oh. Done all right for youngster. Back to the winner goal, the Cats, the top side. And one other thing David Dunbar used as motivation was saying that everyone in Victoria is expecting Geelong to win. Everyone in the records tipped Geelong. Let's show that we can do it.
Tyson Blackney there getting the free kick. Ablett pushing it on, and Tyson Blackney, of course, from Geelong Grammar. Sam Newman's old school, Ross. What have they got much in common? You should go and ask him after getting a set of questions.
Tipping his wallet one of his fat. Chambers wins in the middle. Kilpatrick runs into a brick wall. Jurgic in
No. Good umpiring. Good umpiring, Ray Chamberlain, to spot that. That's very good. In the right spot. Hand threw the ball up, then the hand punched it. That's very good.
Scott Stevens playing a different role now. He kicked 4 goals to half-time, and now he's playing behind the centre. Bounces off Phibbs to Chambers. Kick out of defence. Ablett almost. Chambers, a punch nearly worth a kick. Here's Stevens, but no hope of adding to his 4 goals from back there. And the kick, hacked out of the air on the volley. It comes to Philandia, near the centre circle. He's got it. They've got him. And the umpire will ball it up. Some of the leading possession winners for the leaders to three-quarter time. Philandia 22, Anstey 19, Buchanan 19, Stevens 7 marks, 8 kicks to three-quarter time.
Peter Philandia was so tight at three-quarter time that he just on haunches during the David Dunbar speech. He fights on. Oh, nice driving mark for Luca. Too far out. He's about 80 metres from goal. Into the pocket it goes. And Fibbs has taken a mark ahead of Johnson.
You know, we haven't probably got these stats, but the number of contested marks, contested possessions, we don't have those, but I reckon they've been pretty high today. That was another example where bloke's got to fight for a possession, and it's great. It brings out the best in a player.
Got hauls of 5 goals and 4 this season, Ben Fibbs.
No problems, although the Cats blokes reckon it's a point. But he's put it right over the top. Well, close enough to right over the top, says the goal umpire. That was a great mark by Fibbs there. Again, as just going on with that point, you'll see it here. DeLuca bangs it up. Have a look at the use of the body. See, that's great play. That is really good to watch. Johnson, they've nudged out of the action, and he gets the goal. Just keep finding something in the burrow. David Dunbar's really pushed him on. Big challenge.
Back out to a 2-goal lead. Yeah, the leading goal mark taker in the game is Bartell, but here's her running marks out in the open. That's unusual. There was a throw called in the middle. Here's Bartell out of the middle, the kick. Grabbed out of defence by Obst. He loses it. Gets some support from Rose.
Oh, Philandia's goal.
Kick by Rose, marked by Ricks. In we go now to McMahon. And Alloy right in front.
Oh, they all got caught up there with the big bloke, DeLuca, wasn't it? And Alloy just sat on his Pat Malone. Have a look at this. Look at, oh, dear me. Gardner right out of the slot.
So Tony Alloy, who kicked 2 in the third quarter, going for his third second-half goal to give Port Melbourne a 3-goal lead.
And it's a beautiful kick. Super off the boot.
Never in doubt. Port Melbourne looking for a spot in the preliminary final.
Well, gee, they've been good, and I reckon at ground level is where they've won the game. The Tors have certainly stood up, but I reckon the Cats are just going to have to rethink their setup a little bit. Got some big blokes. Look at Mench's possessions. He's hardly touched the ball, has he?
Yeah, and Philandia's out on his feet. He's hunched over the square. The runner's been out to him. He's just on guts now. He's absolutely spent, exhausted. But he's the captain, and he's going to try and see his team through. He's hobbling. He's feeling it in the stomach too, and he's trying to give it his very last bit. The Cats should clear it from the square. Hunt goes long. McCarthy. The spoil was all right by Gill. Rose there at the fall. Evans runs over it. Rose there to recover. Did it well, and he's not preferred for it. Very clever. He's played well at cross half.
Yeah. Alloy's going off. Oh, sorry, Alloy. Philandia's going off. He can't run, Ross. You're dead right. I was surprised that they would have left him in the centre because he just can't mount a charge.
Well, he burned himself out with that 13-possession second quarter. Stevens, hand pass astray, grabbed by Kilpatrick. 50 metres out. Mark needed by the Cats. Bennett, well done.
Maybe, Ross, you might find this out after 2, but I would say Philandia, you said his stomach, he might be a bit crook. He might have something just not footy related. It's just, well, taking the sting out of him.
Just made himself sick through running.
I just noticed he went up the race then.
Yeah. Short pass to Anstey.
Did you just duck over and check out the change room and see which cubicle he's in?
I'll leave that one alone.
17 points.
10 lads, you did.
Can Geelong get it?
And here's Foster. Floating a hand pass. Now get it back from Hunt. To centre-half forward. O'Brien caught behind, but now he's pretty well placed. Oh, well done by Obst. Kicked by Obst, and it drops in a little bit short, and Bartel takes another mark. That's a 50-metre penalty.
Wow.
Against McInerney.
Oh, David Dunbar will be livid at that. It's just a mistake, but it is so bad.
12 marks to Bartel, the Cats' first pick in the draft last year. Played 11 senior games this year. Can he get the VFL side up? Oh, into the post.
Oh, I thought he could have taken a little bit more time there. Just steady himself, just that fraction. Let off for McInerney because David Dunbar would have jumped out of the box at that, wouldn't he? He would have. Oh.
Would have liked to get on the receiving. All the Geelong senior players behind the goal in the left forward pocket here, just in front of Brett Evans, cheering on the Cats. Stevens the target, Mensch is there, and McCarthy. Now, good work by McMahon, had a good day, good hands. Ricks, Rose, had to be accurate. Again, he kicks cleverly along the boundary line. And Abbott can't keep it in.
Gee, I don't know whether the Cats have got it in them to get up, you know. They can't find an avenue to goal.
Time again, guys. Don't grab him. Don't grab him. Run and jump. Run and jump.
The instructions for Ricks and Chambers. Ricks takes the front posse. Buchanan, run down by Jovanovic, looking for the free kick.
And entitled to it. And they've got to protect the bloke going for the ball, but some sort of hand pass.
I think he kept it on the line. The ball actually hit the line, so... Yeah.
Ricks, free kick to Bartel. And it's got to come back. Well, he's a great player and will be a name of the future for the Cats. In short to the skipper, Tim McGrath. His kick, half back to half forward. McCarthy pushed out free. Matthew McCarthy's played every game in the VFL this year. He's a long way out from goal, but he goes a long way home. Mensch is in the chop. It comes to Mensch. Hand pass back. Kilpatrick touched. Play fair. Ablett. He's already kicked one. He can't get his hands free. And that'll be a ball up on the edge of the square. And he is a player who's good at getting his hands free, so that was a good tackle. 16 points the margin, Port in front. You still sort of half expect Geelong to swoop home, but they're running out of minutes left in the game. And this will be another ball.
Been a great performance by the Borough. He's done well, David Dunbar too, Ross. I think he set it up nicely, got a nice balance. And the Cats just not as balanced.
Finding hard to get space here. Port loving the tight confines. Anstey to Anthony Alloy. Steering kick, but that's all the Cats had here. Jovanovic, plenty of time to steady. Finds McGrath. Back the other way. Has to go back to Hunt. Still on centre wing. What's the option? Kilpatrick outside 50. A little bit of space behind him, but very still, really. Mensch lurking up near the goalpost. Kilpatrick gives it his all, but in so doing, hook the ball. 15.5 minutes. Final term.
Ben Kilpatrick is like Scholl. He's only played a couple of VFL games this year, but he qualifies as long as the finals, the seniors are still going around. Luke Ablett's kick, very wide and out on the full. Free kick to Gergich, former Melbourne player, into Bartel. Gee, James Bartel's had a peep of the ball. Kilpatrick threw his eyes off it, and he's lost it. Cotchett farms the ball out. Bartel, and it's Gergich this time, spirals the ball inside the 50. Mensch missed it altogether. Oh, Well, they've left it behind for Gary Ablett. Good hand pass to O'Brien. If it sits, have to go hard and get it again. And well done here by Obst. And the umpire's going to ball it up.
Gee, that was good work by Ablett. He fought that every inch of the way, you know. And he ended up laying a tackle. There he is on screen. He set up a handball for O'Brien. It just didn't bounce right. Then he went after it. Can't fault his commitment and his intelligence on the ground. He really knows what he's doing. Not strongly built, but he really goes at it.
Right in front of the Cats seniors here, Stephen King, etc. Watching from the hill. And a ball up. Pity the Cats can't get Stephen King to just throw on the hoops and get over the fence and win this ball up. Because they've got the job in front of them here, the Cats.
Just 3 losses for the year. In 20 matches. Staring down the barrel of defeat now. They need a couple of quick ones. Or just one to get them moving. Hunt can't break clear. Port. Tighten up again. Buchanan. Laying a good tackle.
There they are.
There they are, yes.
Ben Graham in there. Scarlett with all the hair.
Ricks. Heads boundary-wise.
Yes, his father played 2 years at Geelong West, John Scarlett, 1979 and 80, played in the grand final against us at Coburg at the Junction Oval in 79. Got off that day with a bad cut to his eye.
So Rick's working against McCarthy. Nick Gill's kick. Sitting back here is Carazzo. Pops it up. Lots of Port defenders there. Midge puts it to boot. But wide, Buchanan just happy to rush it through. They edge a little bit closer, the Cats. 14 points. But look at that clock. Here we go. Those goals hit 5 in the term. That's 30 minutes of play on the clock.
Chris Obst kicks to himself, gains some metres. Not perfect, but goes to Alloy, back to Obst. Now straight up the corridor. Here's Stevens leading the race. Fantastic first half he played. Ablett loses control. That's Luke Ablett. Loses it to Powell. Obst getting a lot of it. Caught by McGrath.
Good decision.
Now, Tim McGrath has had a terrific second half. He has really played a captain's game, and he's going, well, it's hard to say as well as ever, but 8 marks to Timmy McGrath. And 23 possessions. O'Brien, he got it out, did he? How'd you get it out? That'll be a ball up. I didn't see a kick, and I didn't see a hand pass.
Well, it's probably ruled that the tackle freed the ball, and then even Stevens from there.
The message from David Dunbar 3/4 time was to maintain the pressure. As soon as someone drops, they'll be off, and for the moment, the Borough are maintaining the pressure. Although they're deep in defence. Anthony Bennett scrambles out the kick. Nancy back there. Buchanan. Orcotchet didn't get the shepherd in that he would have liked. McInerney all right. Over the top, Robertson. Will it sit for Rose? He paddles it along. Didn't quite take possession. They've been clever. Carazzo, legs taken from under him. McInerney. Abbott was quick. And they forced it to centre wing.
You know, we were talking before about man on man and no floods. Have a look at the Port flood now. They've got the score on the board, and they're making it very tough for the Cats.
Well, they're just making they're making it hard to win a possession, and it's terrific. Have a look at how they play these last few minutes.
Kilpatrick. McGrath. They're getting some space, but not too much of it close to goal. Powell. Oh! Comes to McGrath again. Losing ground in possession. Scholl out wide. Carazzo. He gets it to the corridor. McCarthy should have taken the mark. Ablett loses it in the tackle. Regains it. Umpire says ball up.
Yeah, the lack of space here, it's full-on pressure. But I was going to say, boys, have a think about this. they've got a lot of tools, and Paul Field will probably tell us shortly, but I don't reckon they've taken enough marks.
Well, at the moment, Port only have 2 players forward of the centre and only 4 players outside defensive 50. So what chance Geelong of getting these 3 goals to win? Here's Buchanan, who's a goal kicker, deep back in defence and making sure that they are going nowhere. And we're at the 21.5-minute mark. 14 points. The Cats need 3 goals to 0 to win, or 4 goals to 1. It looks a tough task.
Mensch looking for the free. He's looking for it. He's not getting it. Shapley. Well, Ricks with a kick.
Easy, mate.
Number 97, Similarly done well in the absence of Mott, who's off injured. Now another Port kick. Straight to who? Anstey. And McGrath crept right over the mark. Well, it was Stevens in the end. So McGrath could be more meterage. Meantime, McMahon makes the lead in front of Powell. Ricks back there making a target. He's been spotted by McMahon. Mensch couldn't keep with him. Good mark for the youngster. Oh, and gee, caught one from Jovanovic. He's run around a bit. He's off the line. Just happy to eat up time. Well, Geelong are flooded back now. What's Ricks going to do? He's looking for Stevens, who's in front. Got it. Oh, there's a couple of tight defenders there. Didn't get off the ground as the ball dropped short.
Dead set, dead right, Roscoe.
Not only physically, but mentally.
I just think that little bit of balance problem, a little bit of a balance problem for the Cats. Not quite set up for this ground when it's man on man.
4 so far to Scott Stevens. Will it come back? Oh, I think it might have. It might have. He might have his fifth. He has. And you think the Borough home now, 24 minutes in. Away by 20.
Well, I tell you what, Ross, by comparison, the big blokes for the Borough, they have really excelled. You look at Stevens with those five goals, is it? 5 big goals.
And he is like a courier in city traffic here. Fantastic.
He's just been fantastic. I know Mensch has kicked 3 up the other end, but he's really struggled at other times.
Oh, Geelong have had too many in the middle.
It is so, it is unravelling for the Cats.
Anstey takes it from the hand pass, and the defensive mark holds them up here for a moment. But how long? David Johnson out of defence. They need to come home with 4 goals now. Carazzo, all-out attack now for Geelong. McGrath, poor hand pass. It was meant for Kilpatrick. McGrath kept going. Kick by McGrath. Disappointing finish, but it bounces on. He's having it back.
What are you going to Phil?
What nationality is the pug? that wasn't a free kick. I'll go hey.
College?
Sometimes the obvious trees aren't always paid.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Gotcha. He pops it up with 2 men.
Even a blind umpire would have paid that. Most of them are, Ross.
Being called to move it on. Rose.
And he's Polish too, Ross. He should be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh, Rose got the cramp at least. He's had a look at the clock and he says, I'm going to use up some seconds.
What a great performance by the Borough.
Ricks is the target. Well, in front, Chambers gives it to Kilpatrick. Spots a kick well to Bartel. Another mark.
He's played a game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. Dishes it out to Kilpatrick. Gets it back. Goes with the torpedo. Off the side of the boot, but O'Brien leaves it. And McCarthy.
The great McCarthy.
Takes the mark.
Well, they've been in a grand final since 1993, Roscoe, wasn't it? Yes, 93, when they got rolled by Werribee, Donald McDonald in his first year of coach. And I'll tell you what, the way they're playing, they give a few sides a shake.
Yeah, looking good for a prelim final berth to play the winner of tomorrow's game here at Port Melbourne and on ABC. Werribee against Coburg. And almost more certain now with that miss by McCarthy.
Yep, our Tasmanian viewers will be going right on full time. This game has gone so long that we'll be farewelling our Tasmanian viewers and hope to have you back tomorrow for the other qualifying final that Ross just mentioned. We'll be here tomorrow. And you might not even have time to give best player today. We've got to get out of here. But this is what sport's all about. See, so just sometimes Goliath can get knocked off by David.
That's your mark, no more, no more, just there, just there.
And he doesn't always need a slingshot either.
No, it's been a terrific team plan, beautifully executed by the players. And especially in the first half when they were fresh, they moved the ball so crisply.
You know, it's important, Drew, you know, because there's an air of uncertainty, I would have thought. It's all very well for the Port ladies to say they're a good side, but they're up against the Cats. They had to perform well early to just show that they could do it, give themselves confidence, and from then, just fantastic.
Now they're using up time. Anstey up towards centre wing. Stevens again. Spoiled by Chambers. Scholl bowled over. Just gets it out. Gergich. And that's a good mark by Hunt. 19 the difference. Kick by Hunt, and Ablett takes the mark, wants the goal, needs the goal, gets it. 2 goals in the last quarter to Gary Ablett.
Well, he hasn't been able to get free today, and you made the point early, Drew, that most of his possessions are handballs, and really they wanted him to kick 4 or 5 from inside 50 just to give him that bit of fire, because the big blokes haven't really banged them through.
And the umpire giving the all clear, 13 points. All clear, umpire Venkat, he said. Over 28 minutes.
They couldn't, could they?
No, we wouldn't think so. Funnier things have happened. If they can clear it from here. We had a 33-minute second term. Chambers wins it, but Robertson was in the way. Quick kick out of the square towards Gill. It was under the pressure from the coach at 3/4 time to Hunt, not preferred foot, gets back onto the left foot. Finds a man loose. They're away to Long. Long from Bartel. It's straight. It's a goal. And they are a chance. Late.
What's the difference, Ross? I lost track of it.
Well, it's 7 points the margin, 29 on the clock.
7 points.
Whether they win or lose, what a game James Bartel has played.
Fantastic. Last second, says the umpire, should be a coach. Bartel's just bang, nice. Well, it is, as they say, the last roll of the dice for the Cats, and the Borough are flooding back. Stevens back to the back half.
Ricks in ruck. Geelong need the football. Hunt's been very good in the last few minutes. Scholl, beautiful. Gergich, a goal will put him within a point. Kick by Gergich right to the line. And Stevens gets back. It comes to the front. Ablett the tackler. And it's a ball up in the goal square.
Yeah, really, Stevens dropped that one.
The tension here. Is there time left? It's not a countdown clock, it's a count-up clock. We don't know any more than you do. 30 minutes gone by, Port by 7. Now what's going on here?
Free kick, says the umpire. Not going to fall for that.
Brockman tripped over.
A point here, and then Ross.
Oh, Hunt tries to get boot to ball, can't quite manage it, and it'll be another ball up. Roscoe, take it over.
Extra time, Phil. We haven't got any time. We haven't got any time left.
A point and then a goal, and she's a draw. And we're off the air.
But
Buchanan got the cramp? Or is it just a...
it was not a draw, really. It's extra time.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Then if it is a draw, you've got to go to extra time.
Stevens gets it out. Oh, well played by Obst.
That's it. That'll
Get
just
it
about
out
stitch
of bounds,
it
one
up.
of them. Melbourne, against the odds, have beaten the minor premiers, and Port are in the preliminary final. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast in Tasmania. There's the final score. Port 18-9, 117. Geelong 16-14, 110. Goodbye to our Tasmanian viewers. And now continuing on here, look at the contrast in emotions. The Cats devastated here today, and James Bartell, a real sportsman, shaking hands with every Port player he can find. What a game he played in a losing side. And Eamon Buchanan, well, those two played for the Geelong Falcons together in the under-18s.
Yeah, he was great, Buchanan. I tell you what, Stevens, they bobbed up with the big goals, and Alloy there just put through a couple of pearlers, 3 of them. 2 third quarter and a fourth quarter goal, and Jared Bennett was terrific in the back half too. He played on Midge for most of the game, although Stevens had started that first 10-15 minutes, so he was great. Big performance by the Borough. Yes, they are in it. Yes, they're good enough on today's performance. And Peter Philandia, brilliant first half. One of the best goals you will ever see down to the right of screen. Absolutely astounding, kicking the ball from mid-air over his head, over that shaded Roscoe. You got them there, I bet they're pretty excited.
Thanks, Eamon Buchanan's our man of that team, and well done. TXU player of the day.
Thanks,
fantastic,
Phil.
3 goals. I'm Ross, but that doesn't matter. What a native by the Borough.
Yeah, unbelievable to knock Geelong off, who I think they've lost two or three matches all year, and it was just great to get up. All the boys just stood tall, and really good win.
A very tiring game, hard-fought game.
Yeah, lots of running both ways, hard running both ways, and it's great, just a great feeling to get up there today. Really good, very good.
Right, into the prelim final, Eamon Buchanan.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done. Now, we've got the stats for Bartell on the losing side. 24 kicks, 9 hand passes, and 14 marks. They are the stats of a Wayne Carey.
Oh, it was a great performance by him. They needed their medium-sized players that went up. But tomorrow's game, that is, look, it's a big game today. Werribee versus Coburg, Drew. The 2 powerhouses, a few surprises. That's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to that one.
And I'll look forward to a nice unbiased call with Coburg playing.
I'll do it, Eddie, and I won't be biased one bit, Beverly.
Hope you enjoyed it at home. Thanks, Bev.